This is part 2 of the scariest place I've ever traveled, Western State Asylum. If you haven't watched the first part, I highly suggest you do before watching this because it will make a lot more sense. I make it to the end of the hallway and turn the corner just as a shadowy figure looms out of the darkness and grabs me by the collar. The door behind me slams shut, and I find myself pulled into the darkness. I try to scream, but no sound comes out. I thrash around wildly until I feel a hand over my mouth covering my screams. I struggle against the figure, but it's no use. It's too strong. I try to claw at its face, but it simply vanishes into thin air. I run down a dark hallway only to realize I am no longer inside Western State. Once that shadow figure had grabbed me, I was no longer where I once was. He must have dragged me to the underworld while I was struggling to fight him off. The hallways of the asylum quickly dissipate as I run through them, replaced instead with a dark forest surrounding me. All of the trees bare and blacker than the night itself. A heavy fog choking the air around me. I can barely breathe, but I just keep running as fast as I can. Behind me, the thundering of hooves pounding the dirt in hot pursuit. They're gaining on me with every passing second. I don't know how long I've been running for or where I'm going, but I just keep running. Finally, I make it to the end of what was once the main hall and dive under a rotten log just as a horse-mounted shadow creature rides past. I lay there barely catching my breath, trying to listen for any sounds to give me a clue as to what's happening around me. After a while, I must have fallen asleep because I awoke to footsteps approaching the log I was hiding under. The footsteps are getting closer and closer until the scene fades to black. I must have passed out again in the noxious air. All I can hear is the faint ripping of wood as the something, or someone, is pulling the log off of me. There's nothing more I can do now. Part 3 is coming soon. Stay tuned. Also, Part 2 of this video will be posted tonight, but don't watch it after the bell tolls for the witching hour, lest you be dragged here with me as well.